Friday morning conversation
with Dan and Shay.
Congratulations on the new record today.
Thank you, man. Feels good. Finally out there.
Does it feel good or does it feel like a relief?
I'd probably say both.
Yeah, after 3 years, man, it's been too long.
Has it been 3 years?
Well, kind of like there's an asterisk on it after the last year and a half that we've all had. So it has been 3 years since the last album came out.
I guess because we continue to get music from you one dose at a time, it doesn't feel like 3 years.
Yeah.
Meaning you guys have been putting out songs, but then like a couple of those songs, I Should Probably Go to Bed, 10,000 Hours, Glad You Exist. I guess we've been getting those, so it doesn't feel like there's just been a whole, deficient.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that definitely kind of, held people over and felt like they were getting something because those songs were going up the chart. But it's crazy to think that 10,000 Hours was, the first song off this project.
I want to play a clip, and I saw this on you guys' social media. This is Good Things. This is live from your show in Iowa. This is 7 days after it came out. Now, which is wild to me because Good Things is not a single, right?
No.
Not yet.
Okay, so you put it out, and it's not like it's getting played all over the radio, but you play it at the show, and this is what happens. Here you go.
It sounds like there's like one little kid hitting that high note.
Screaming and loud.
We hired a children's choir to like overdub the audio and make it sound like people knew the words to the song.
That whole show, though, knew the song.
Nuts,
That's
man.
crazy.
That's crazy to me. And it's not even one that was getting like played on radio stations anywhere, and they knew it all. But your fans do that.
We've
They
got
do.
amazing fans,
Yeah.
man. We're so grateful.
Do you ever do that though, and they don't, and you're like, oh, they're gonna know this one tonight.
It's one of my greatest fears, dude.
It's like, all right, here we go.
There's nothing more vulnerable than putting out the mic. Because, when it's a hit, it's like if they don't know it and they're there at the show, it's like, this is shame on you for not knowing this song. But if anything else, it's like with like an album track and you give it to them and you just fully commit. It's just like, and they don't say anything. That's one of my greatest fears, I'd say.
We're still pretty insecure about it. No matter where we go, we could sell out 20,000 tickets, and Tequila or Speechless comes on, and I'm like, should we let them sing? That's the only reason they bought. That's the only reason they bought a ticket to this show. Of course,
Let
they're
me
gonna know this one.
play. This is track one. The album's called Good Things. It's out today. Here is Good Things from Dan and Shay.
When you hear somebody start to say my name, or when you think of me, I hope you think good things.
Shay, when you have to do that, do you have to get to that point, or can you walk into that?
Like, are you asking me if I could do it right now?
Well, I'm just saying it's early in the morning now, but
Yeah.
Ray, hit that again.
When you hear somebody start to say my name,
Yeah, that right
or
there.
when you think
Yeah.
Can you? Is that there when you wake up?
Sometimes. I mean, usually, unless like, it just kind of depends. That's definitely
don't
something.
blow your voice out now. Just give me a little. You tried it there, but I'd rather hear it without the song over it.
When you hear somebody start to say my name. See, that's me not warming up. That's how hard it is right there.
And that's
Oh, wow.
still,
So,
no,
that's
it's
still
not
better
always
than
there.
99%
Yeah.
of people here in town.
Now you try it, Bobby.
Now you, Bobby.
And when you hear somebody.
That's how I felt like I sounded right there. That sounded pretty good, dude.
So today, Still My Love is the song that we're playing. It's the single here. Play me a clip of that, Raymundo, please.
no way nobody gonna steal my love, my love. No way, no how, no never. My heart is yours forever. If I couldn't call you mine, then baby, you know I don't want no one. My car, my clothes, my money, take it all, but there ain't nobody gonna steal my love.
How do you guys decide on what's the next song to put out as a single? Like, why Still My Love?
It's a very difficult decision to make. We're proud of all the songs on the album. I just feel like that was the one that everyone on. I mean, it's tough. You don't really have any market data. You haven't played it for the fans, and I guess it's just kind of our team. That was the one that everybody just reacted to unanimously, and we played it for somebody. We played it for Espo at Warner. He's the head of Warner Music Nashville, and we played it for him for the first time. And he got it. I've got a video of it.
Lost his mind. Oh my
He
God.
got out of the chair and started dancing, and we're like, we can't take it back from him now. It's got to be the single. So, yeah, we're excited about that one, man. It's fun, and it's dropping it mid to late summer here. It feels good, and getting back on the road is going to be a good one at the show.
I saw an article, Dan, that for 2 weeks in a row you are the biggest producer in country music.
He loved to see it.
I'll take it, man.
I
I'll
mean,
take it.
but
Job,
you
dude.
produced
Thank
it.
you.
You produced every track on this album.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that people may not know is that like you produce this stuff, and you right now you are the biggest producer in country music.
I haven't slept in a long time. You finish the album, then it's like, cool, the next day you're doing all kinds of, let's shoot a video for every song. Do we have treatments? No, can you write them? Oh, all right, here we go.
Well, word on the street is that you never come out of the room.
No.
I mean, it's like
No.
you wake up and you go, and then you might briefly come down from the room, but
think
then you go back into the room.
Yeah.
This is the first I've seen him in a week.
My wife's forgotten what I look like. The only break was to come to the wedding.
Yeah. Well,
That was the last time I saw Dan. Was
Yeah.
at your wedding?
It was great. We got to see Ronnie Dunn. I mean,
I
that
think
was amazing.
That's the main
best
point. Like,
night
we
of
got to
my
see
life.
Ronnie Dunn.
Well,
What's the best-
obviously, that was, I mean, y'all doing the first dance was so special. Like, just as someone that was there witnessing it. And I know that y'all put a lot of work into that. So it was super special. Even recording Bobby and Caitlin, what do you call it? Say it, Dan. You
song?
recorded them a track.
There you go. Nailed it.
Recording them the track. Like, that's super special. But what was it like for y'all, making the decision to do that? Was it a no-brainer? Was getting the text from Bobby awkward and you have to talk about it? Or are you like, oh yeah, for sure, we're doing it?
It was not even a discussion. We both we're like, obviously it's a huge honor to be able to do that, but it was also just, yeah, of course we're gonna do that, man. Like we wouldn't let you down.
it was awkward for me to have. I don't like.
I can
to
imagine
ask,
that though. I felt for you, like, because asking that is always just kind of uncomfortable. Where it's like, that like we're not gonna say no, but it's also like it's just a weird thing to like. It's not a weird thing to ask somebody, your friend, but it's a very difficult thing to ask your buddy.
I
For-
would
for,
say
like, anything.
because,
It's
and
hard.
here's why I think you guys will relate. In the industry, you don't want to ask your friends to do industry things.
Sure.
But I felt like this was a personal thing, but you're doing what you do for the industry. Like I would say, like, Dan's come over to the house for dinner. That I have no problem with going, hey, you, Abby, come to the house.
Sure.
Yeah.
All day, every day. But to be like, hey, will you guys do what you're really good at at my house? Like
great,
that
man.
felt a
It was
little,
awesome, dude.
but you guys, and you,
It didn't feel that way to us at all. It's clearly we were doing this not as an industry thing, but we were doing this because, we're friends.
How fun is it to be out singing again in public, Shay? Like doing shows again?
It's hard to describe a little bit.
He's
because
speechless.
I'm speechless. But no, it really is, man. It's something that you don't realize how much you miss until it's gone. And it's that moment where for the first little bit, it's like, man, this is awesome. I get a little bit of a break of not having to stress about, remembering the words that you wrote or like being out there and being an entertainer. But that's taken away from you. Honestly, for me, it was like, it took 4 days to be like, dang, this really sucks to not get to be up there on the stage. And after we had like those first couple shows, it was like, man, this is what I was born to do. I was born to be up here singing. And when you don't get to do that for a second, you're kind of reminded of how blessed you are to be in this situation and get to do that, because it's a pretty indescribable feeling to be up there on the stage and hear people singing back the words to songs that you wrote is just it's a crazy feeling. So it feels good.
If I were to play one note, I'm gonna do this with a few of your songs. Can you name the song in one note?
Of
We-
our songs?
Yeah, we like to play
Definitely, yeah.
name that tune. That
Yeah.
game at the house. Name that tune. All right, here's one note. Can you name it?
Tequila.
That's easy. Yeah, tequila. That's the easiest one.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
I feel like Dan's gonna get all these.
Yeah, because Dan's like, oh yeah, yep, I heard
Are we
that
trying to get? Are we
5
trying to get it
million
quick, or are
times.
we waiting?
Yeah, you can get
Just
it.
do- okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay, Ray, is that tequila?
It's a race between the two of you.
Okay, there you
I
go.
bet $1 million of those tequila.
Okay, here we go.
Show you off.
Okay.
Sorry about that one.
That's good.
Sorry about that, guys.
Why?
Sorry about that song.
What?
Why? What?
Oh, we're kidding. We're kidding.
You know,
Let's move on, Bobby. Let's move
Morgan
on.
number 2 brought up. We were doing a segment on yesterday's show. Hold on. Don't. Morgan number 2 brought up. We were talking about albums that don't have a single bad song on it. Country albums. And I'd pick Casey Musgraves, same trailer, different part.
Great album.
Definitely.
Because all the way through. Amy had picked Old Dominion.
Happy Endings.
Happy Endings.
Yep.
Morgan had tell them.
I picked your guys' first album, Where It All Began. I
That's
mean,
amazing.
I love
Thank you.
every
Thank
single
you.
song on that album. And you guys just did Show You Off, which is one of my favorites.
That's
Awesome.
awesome. I
Thank
love to
you.
hear that because I feel like there's songs throughout your career that you do 100 million times where you're just like, God, I hate that song. But not that you're not proud of it, but when you sing something every single day, That's just how it is. We're proud of every single one of them because we put a lot of hard work into that. But you just get kind of like you sing something enough, and you're like, all right, I could maybe never sing that again. "Show You Off" is not necessarily one of those songs, but there's definitely been songs.
But that's
like
one
that.
y'all don't like, or what?
What was the other? What did you had a question? You just don't know what to say.
It's funny because my wife Abby and like everybody was like, "Nothing Like You" should be the first single on the first album. It should be the first. Well, everybody loved 19 You and Me. It was a thing. It was a big song for us. A couple times platinum, did its thing, put us on the map. But she was like, "Nothing Like You, that's the hit." And we're like, "Oh, we're gonna go Show You Off next." Didn't work. I mean, I think it got maybe top 25, and sure enough, Nothing Like You was the first #1. She was right all along.
Do you guys as wives weigh in on what songs maybe they don't like more than what they do? Anyway, so Dan and Shay are here.
Sorry, there's a. I can't quite hear you. Cut out for a second. No, I would say my wife has said songs that she doesn't like as much, but it's not like I hate this song. It's just like I like this one better. Probably would be how Hannah deals with it.
The new record's out today, so you guys check out Good Things. It is 12 tracks, and I was looking at the songwriters. Always interested me who writes on some of these songs, and there was one I saw, two actually. One had Bill Withers. Track 7, Lying. Plays number 7, right? This is Lying.
I don't miss you in my bed. I don't hear you in my head. I don't love you, I'm not crying. And I swear I'm not lying.
So how does Bill Withers get on this song?
It's a long story. Well, we were in the middle of nowhere. We were playing like a county fair or something a couple years back, and we had our buddies out, Jordan Reynolds and Andy Albert. We're hanging out. Jordan plays this little thing on piano. We weren't even thinking about it. We kind of just freestyled the chorus of that song. We wrote the song. We demoed the song. And we're kind of listening back. We're like, man, kind of like that piano sounds like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like it's the Lean on Me sort of thing. We weren't thinking about it when we wrote it, but it's obviously like one of the best songs ever written. One of the biggest, like most recognizable, familiar songs. And we're like, you know what? There's something in the back of our minds. We were subconsciously maybe inspired by that or motivated by that. And that's why we connected with the song or the piano riff. So we're like, you know what? If that inspired us to write this song, which the top line of the song itself isn't, melodically on that song, but something about the piano chord. So we reached out and we gave him publishing on that song.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
By the way,
wow.
Bill Withers, Lean on Me, Ain't No Sunshine.
Yeah.
Lovely Day, like great, but he's also dead. And so when I saw him on the song, but will I hear it in that? Play it again, Ray. Nope, don't hear it. Take him off. Take all good. Take him off.
We'll cut you in on publishing. It's all good.
Bobby's gonna go. He's gonna get his lawyer fight against this.
I saw Shawn Mendes on a song,
Yeah.
Body Language, that you, Shay, Scott Harris, Shawn Mendes, and Jordan Reynolds wrote. Now, similar? Or was it in a room?
No, this
or what?
was we were in the room together.
You met Shawn Mendes?
We
Great
met
hair.
him.
Dang.
Touched his.
That's what we
beautiful
geek out
locks.
about in the whole interview.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love the things that like us in the Nashville world like geek out of. Same, like we met Shawn Mendes and we're like, "Hey, dude, what's going on? Can I touch your hair?" Anyways, what were you saying?
So you wrote this with him?
We did, yeah, in Nashville at Jordan's studio, and it was really fun to write that one, dude. Just kind of being there with him. A lot of people, you kind of wonder in the pop world of like, is he truly as talented as I want him to be? Of kind of this pedestal that I put him on, and he was every bit as talented and every bit as nice. One of the nicest human beings in the world. And that was one of my favorite sessions.
What a guy. I mean, he's an incredible person. I mean, he's tremendously successful, sells out arenas and stadiums. Most humble, sweetest kid. I mean, and insanely talented.
Was Camilla with him?
No.
She was not. We all put our heads down like, no.
In spirit.
The story got worse. We're like, oh, never mind.
That could have been such a great story.
Here is a clip of that song here. This is... I lost it. Hold on.
Show You Off.
No, yeah. Here is Body Language.
Cause your body language is giving you away. Yeah, your lips are shaking. Cause you don't wanna say that you don't love me the same. Yeah, your body language is giving you away. Yeah.
Can you imagine slow dancing with Shawn Mendes to that song?
Is that what you guys did?
Yeah.
As you're writing it?
That's what the song was. We're like, dude, I don't know what to write. And you're like, you guys want to dance?
Like, who's
No,
the
no,
coolest famous person you guys have got to spend time with? Because it's every time I look, you're with somebody even cooler. I mean, you went to Bieber's wedding. You got to hang out with Shawn Mendes. You and Bill Withers are just chilling, you know?
But absolutely chilling.
Who for you guys, do you walk away from and go, well, that was a bit surreal? Because we're just a couple guys in Nashville that have been writing songs.
This is kind of a different perspective on that, but I would say the most interesting scenario is Ed Sheeran. We all know Ed Sheeran. You guys have hung out, and he is probably the biggest superstar on the planet. There's no one more down to earth or humble than that guy. He walks into a session we were hanging out with him. We had a show, day off. We were in Boston at the Garden, and he's about to go on. Thousands of screaming fans, multiple nights sold out. These fans are camped out like 8 a.m. for the show. We're hanging. He's on at 8:30. It's like 8:28. We're just chilling, listening to demos backstage. He's in a t-shirt, jeans. We're like, yo, man, you want us to like bail so you can, get in your zone? He's like, no, it's all good. Let's keep hanging. Yeah. 8:29. He's like, yo, man, you guys want to meet me back here in like an hour and a half? Sure. Literally walks right from that room to the stage.
Like we didn't know what he was going to do. Like I gotta take care of something. I'll be back in like an hour. We're like, okay. It's unreal. And you know how like most people kind of have their entourage, like a lot of these very famous people, like it walks around and they walk as a unit where it's like feels like a Transformers machine with all these guys around him. And it's like he walked in there like he might have just come from like, oh hey guys, like he was the only guy backstage. Like I saw because he didn't have a band. It's just him up there. So he was probably stoked that we were there because he was like, you're the first people I've seen in months. I was so glad you came here. But
not to keep bringing up the wedding, but there's a presence about Ronnie Dunn.
There is.
There's just his presence. His voice, first of all, is incredible. I mean, just unreal. But when he walks in the room, there's just some sort of presence there. There's like an aura around him. Do you feel that? You're closer with him than we are. So
Ronnie, that's a good one, right? Like I can't believe when I get to spend time with Ronnie Dunn because Brooks and Dunn was such a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And the fact that And I didn't. The thing with Ronnie was like, he was like, hey, what do you want as a gift? He asked. He was like, I don't know what to get you. And I was like, I don't know. I don't just show up.
Sure.
And he's like, how about a song? And I was like, oh my goodness.
We're like, you didn't even want to like ask that. Like that's the
I
only
wasn't
gift
going
that
to
you
ask
wanted.
that.
Yeah.
I wasn't. And I was like, that sounds great. And he goes, which one? And then I was like, well, if I ask for Neon Moon, that's not a love song, but that's the greatest song in my opinion. I was like, Neon. He's like, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. I'll see you there.
It was unreal.
That was one of the coolest moments of my life, dude. Honestly.
What was the best night of your life? The wedding? Bobby's wedding?
You guys don't come off the road, which is a bit weird for a Nashville touring organization. You know, your band, your group. I mean, you do like rock star touring, where it's not you're just gone on Friday and Saturday and come back. You stay out on the road. But you guys have always done that pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of came up doing like, there was one year I remember we did like 270 shows or something.
Nuts.
And I saw that on paper and I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude. We're out of our minds, man. And that's, obviously the bigger you get, the more songs that you have out there. You don't have to do 270 because that's crazy and we wouldn't be able to have families. But it is, man. We like to get out there. We have the opportunity to go, fingers crossed this year again, to be able to be out there on the road. And that's a huge deal, man. That's kind of the full circle moment of what you get to do. It's kind of the final step of you write the song, it gets on the radio, and people hear it and consume it, and then you actually get to. You can't ever judge the response of the passion of a song until you get out on the road, which is something we didn't have with I Should Probably Go to Bed. That song went up the charts without us playing a single show, which was kind of crazy. And you can always tell when the song is climbing up the radio charts when you're on the road and they start to kind of sing it back louder and louder. But you can't really, you can't judge that based on just seeing it go up the chart. You're just like, I hope that people like the song or know the song. And that's like the final step of being out there and being able to experience the fans' like passion for a particular song.
How was that song when you guys played it? I'm assuming it killed.
Tribal, dude. It was crazy.
Dude,
I couldn't believe
absolutely insane. It was like when tequila was at its peak. It was insane. And we teed it up right at the top of the encore. We come out, it's a whole thing. But it was crazy.
Will you ever not do an encore? Let's say the crowd sucks.
Yeah, we've done that before.
Because you don't owe them an encore.
Sure.
You really don't.
We usually put tequila in the encore because so they'd be pretty ticked off if we didn't do an encore or we just wouldn't go
Is that
off.
a conversation like, hey, do you want to do the encore, or is it more of a conversation like, hey, I don't feel like doing the encore?
The encore is a tough thing. It's a little goofy to go off stage. It's like a little bit you're boosting yourself on too much of a pedestal, but it's just part of the gig. You know what I mean? I think you kind of have to do it. It adds a little bit of drama to the show. That we go off stage, Dan and Shay, they're chanting, and we're back there like, okay,
changing our sweaty clothes.
They know who we are. All right, great. This is great.
What if they don't chant though? That would be my fear.
Well, then you sprint to the bathroom and you never come back there again.
Do you?
No, I'm kidding.
There have been a couple shows where we would do our little dopey thing, but they would turn the lights on immediately, thinking that
you were done.
That we were done.
Yeah.
And so you don't. But I'm assuming you guys run the light guys too now at this point.
It's a whole thing. I mean, it's definitely like it's pretty clear that like we're not done. We haven't played like some of our biggest songs, so like unless there's like one guy like, well, I guess that's it. If he sees like we have some undertones of like, I don't think like we can't see to get out here. Like some people might want to leave, but they're like, I literally can't see anything right now. So
the key is to finish the first part of the set with a song that nobody likes. But clearly, they're not going to end with that. I'm not going to say,
song's called "Show." What? Get it.
Yeah.
All right, name this song in one note. Here you go.
From the ground up.
Nice. Wow. Name this song in one note.
Glad you exist.
Oh, that was Glad You Exist. I almost said Can't Say No for a second.
Glad you exist.
Sorry, you've now been banished from the room, Shay.
Well, hey, Bobby, can I talk to you in the kitchen real quick?
Hey, Glad You Exist can be number one this week.
Let's go.
Fingers crossed.
Your team. How does that get timed out like this? How does it get timed out that the week you put out a record, the song goes number one?
It's almost like his.
Is that you guys?
I mean, you try to plan it. You try to plan it the best you can. You kind of forecast the chart. You look at it. You see, well, this is probably going to go. Luke Combs will probably get a few in there before we get this one all the way up there. And then,
Playing 2 Combs songs.
Yeah, for sure. But, you try to plan it the best you can, but you never know. Yeah. But we're grateful for the support of country radio, for you guys playing the music and getting it there. Because at any given point, somebody could be like, I don't like Glad You Exist. I'm pulling it. And then it foils the whole plan. But, I mean, the timing is absolutely perfect on this. So hats off to you guys and to our team for making it. I mean, it's tough to line that up.
Because it could have very easily been like the week after or the week before, because you really don't know if you go early or you happen to get jumped. There's not really, and it's not like you're going to move the album, 3 weeks, before the album. Like, all right, we're going to move it.
It's a tough conversation too, strategically. If we're still in Glad You Exist and we're pushing that for 8 more weeks, then you kind of lose the initial hype of a new single, new album, that kind of impact moment. So the timing is really good on this one.
Controversial opinion that I'm going to say, and you guys can tell me if you agree with it or not. And it may be not controversial to you guys privately, but I'm feeling like at some point you have to start to be considered, even as a duo, for Entertainer of the Year.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
That is, it's hard to deny the success that you guys have, not just in number ones, but also in touring and also in what you do on social media. And it's what the entertainer category should be. I would say you do that as well, if not better, than anyone. The only other person I would argue should for sure be in there, you mentioned, was Luke Combs.
I voted for him.
Right.
I voted for him. I pulled up the thing, didn't see our name on it, and voted for Luke Combs.
And it may be awkward for you to answer this, but why do you guys think you're not considered in this category that I feel you should be one of the top 2 in this category?
I don't know why. I mean, I feel like it's, not just like fighting for ourselves, but I do think that it should be talked about, not like for our sake, but for the coming duos and groups in the future of, of that being a category. I don't know. That's something that should be talked about probably.
Do you think it's the duo part?
No, I don't think it's the duo part. I mean, it's tough. The award shows are all tough. It's the criteria for award shows is we've lost a lot of awards more than we've won. We've been lucky to win a few, and we're grateful for that. We're so grateful. It's a huge moment for us, big win for the team, but man, you can't live and die by an award. I think the real win for us, and I'm not just saying this, is being able to come in here, talk to you guys, have a song that gets on the radio, be able to go out, play shows, have people show up, sing the words back after the song's been out for 6 days or whatever it is, or you just do music for a living, man. I mean, that's what we dreamed of our entire lives, and to be able to support our families, to do what we love every single day, that's a huge win. And the award shows are tough. It's like, there's always going to be somebody who you think deserves to win. Even, if Luke Combs wins that, you still got Garth out there who was, or Chesney or Eric Church or Keith or any of these folks out there, Blake, who were selling arenas or stadiums out every single night. And it's like so many people deserve to win that. And only one person can win, or only 5 can be nominated. And there's always going to be a 6th person doesn't get in there. And there's always going to be controversy about that. But yeah, I don't know.
And the worst thing that can happen to you is that the people that think that you deserved it think that in their minds. And that's still a win, that you have people who advocate for you for that, which is like Dan said, it is, you can't live and die by it, but we are very thankful, but it's just, we're thankful that people like you would even say that.
I mean,
and
all that,
it.
listen, I know you guys get a cute answer, but here's the thing.
You're cute, Bobby.
Yes. I know that I would be disappointed if I was crushing everything and it wasn't coming back. Even partially coming back to me. So I'll say that. You guys don't have to say that. You can smile and say the political answer. It's all good. Look at Shay smiling real big. But I think that there's an injustice with a few artists because I think our format holds on to legendary acts longer than they should and keeps them in current positions.
Sure.
There should be like a category of like, hey, you're old and still cool. How do we not have that be
sure.
a category?
I think I think that is very true because the reality of it is that we're going to be there one day, and I will have the same stance then of just like there always has to be something fresh that is coming out, and so it's a conversation that always has to be ever changing. You know, I feel like these conversations haven't happened because they just haven't happened, and I feel like they probably need to.
I do want to talk about dancing for a second because I was an awkward dancer and I did a whole dance show.
We've all got that in common. Right?
But I watch both of you dance, and none of us are trained dancers, nor do we claim to be. But in the video, I feel like Dan, you're a bit reluctant, and Shay, you love it.
I was born for this.
That's Shay. I feel like when I watch you, like you feel like you just waiting for your shot to dance.
You know, I've been sitting in the wings, dancing at home, spending 17 hours a day. Dan's in the studio. I'm also in the studio, but of a different kind.
But do you like dancing, Shay?
No, I honestly, my sister danced. Gabby danced a lot. Like as we were growing up, she like would do choreography and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, like there was like a point there for probably like a good 6 months where I was like maybe 10 or 11, where I'd sit in front of the mirror and just be like, pow, 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 and it was horrible. But I always kind of like to move and dance and do that kind of stuff. So yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm not great at it, but I feel like I could maybe get better.
I feel like
With
you like
some
to
training.
dance. I can see in your eyes you like to dance.
Yeah. You're going to put this on me, aren't you?
You're
like, dude, you are a dancer, and that's it. If you don't like it, you can get out.
But Bobby, after working with professional dancers, do you have a newfound appreciation for when you see it on TV or a movie? I mean, those pro
They're
dancers,
professional athletes.
it's nuts.
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
when
insane.
I did Dancing with the Stars first day. I saw Shawn dance. I was like, oh, because she like won world championships, and I was like, oh, you're like a world class sprinter, or you're like a baseball player. Like
It's insane.
We just have not been exposed to how hard it is to do that.
Yeah.
And the
But-
mental capacity of it too, to memorize every step. You miss one step and you're tripping on somebody. Or
Yeah, I did that a lot.
Especially with a group, with
Yeah.
a group of people. Whenever you watch those like big dances, and they're doing these really intricate things, and there's one person that they're doing a flip. It's like if you're an inch too close, you're getting a foot to the face, and it's pretty. One person, if you mess it up, you got to do it all over again.
Yeah, I can say this
Horrible.
here because I'm just gonna say it. We got a video coming out next week, the Steal My Love music video. It's insane, the craziest video we've ever done. A lot of choreography, dancers, the whole deal. There was a guy doing a flip in the front, right? He's got this like briefcase thing. It's a whole dramatic scene. And he does this like flying front flip. And you're literally like 6 inches from this guy.
Yeah.
You take one wrong misstep, he's taking out
Well,
your
I
chin.
did. That was a personal story. I took it like to the chest, full on, and I had to like act like it was because there's all these people around, and they're dancing like we're dancers, and I was like, me too. And so I was going up there, and I got like too close, and this guy's doing a full on flip, and he had done it like 6 times already, and he flipped, and his leg came, and it was like a karate. Like when you see them flip, and you see the people like whoa, and they get kicked in the karate movies. I felt like that because it smacked me right in the chest, and he landed it and like acted like nothing would happen. And so I like stand there and I'm like, you do like the Olympic athlete thing where they stick that landing and they're just like, and I did that and I was like, I may die. I thought I was gonna look down and see a hole in my chest. I mean, it was crazy. But I mean, me being a dancer, it's what you got to deal with in my line of work.
The new record's out today. Good Things. It's their 4th studio album. Glad You Exist will be #1 this week. Everything's coming up Dan and Shay for sure right now. Out on the road. I mean, I looked at the tour dates and I mean, it's most days you guys are gone.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, as I always say to you guys, and only to you guys, I like you.
Hey, appreciate that.
I don't say
Bobby.
that to anybody
We
else.
like it too,
Only
man.
you guys. Hey, remember when John Stamos commented on you guys' video?
Unreal. I was in the studio, I ran in, I was like, Abby, you gotta check this out. This
yeah,
is crazy.
Me too. I was like, John Stamos just commented on my Twitter about Dan and Shay singing. It wasn't even about me at
So
all.
sick,
They
dude.
were. He's like, man, this is giving me goosebumps.
Uncle
And I was
Jesse
like,
knows who we are. This is insane.
all
I wonder
right,
if he'd
Dan
wanna
and
be my
Shay.
dance partner.
Follow them at Dan and Shay. Go see them on the road. They are fantastic. The new record's out today. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
It's a Bobby Bones show.